Good morning and welcome to you all. Thank you for participating in ESSAE's annual meeting and awards banquet. Today is a special day as we're making history by participating in this event. Never before has this annual meeting or the awards banquet been held completely virtually, and never before have either events been broadcasted on YouTube or Facebook Live. So now I'd like to call this meeting to order and begin by acknowledging our generous sponsors. Given the major challenges encountered by associations, small businesses, the hotel and tourism industries, I want to extend ESSAE's deepest gratitude for your support of this organization. Let's start with Visit Buffalo Niagara, the MC for today's event. Discover Albany, the sponsor for today's toast event. Discover Albany, the sponsor for today's toast. And our additional sponsors, Map Dynamics, Overit Media, Trinity Alliance of the Capital Region, the Business Council of New York State, Turning Stone Resort, Finger Lakes Visitors Connection, Visit Rochester, the American Council of Engineering Companies, New York, and Lake George Regional Chamber of Commerce and CVB. Please give our generous sponsors a round of virtual applause. Thank you. And now it's my honor to introduce Jennifer Gregory, National Sales Director for Visit Buffalo Niagara, as today's MC sponsor, to say a few words.
Thank you, Rita. Good morning. If we haven't met yet, my name is Jen Gregory, and I am thrilled to be with you today, representing Visit Buffalo Niagara. Our team is so excited to support ESSAE as this year's MC sponsor. As they will not be represented on camera, I'd like to go ahead and mention my colleagues who are joining us today: Megan Zimmer, Dion Williamson, Mike Even, Karen Cox, as well as Melissa Burke from the Buffalo Niagara Convention Center. Be sure to look out for us in chat and say hello, and stop by our booth to see what we have going on. Bills fans, we had a great season this year. And while we did not make it to the Super Bowl, we are extremely encouraged and excited about next season. We learned the value of teamwork. Know that the Buffalo hospitality community is here to work for you. Now, as a former NFL cheerleader for the Buffalo Bills, it is with great pride that I now introduce President and CEO of Visit Buffalo Niagara, Patrick Keller, and Buffalo Bills quarterback, Josh Allen. Patrick and Josh join us from the Buffalo History Museum, which showcases the greatest moments of Buffalo sports history, to present their own honorary awards and kick off today's program. Please join me in welcoming Patrick Keller and Josh Allen.
Welcome Empire State Society of Association of Executives members and guests to the annual awards celebration. Our Buffalo Bills most valuable player, Josh Allen, and I are here to congratulate ESSAE's most valuable players being honored today and to present awards on behalf of a winning season during a uniquely strange and difficult time. Honorary Rookie of the Year award is presented to Amanda Grace Wing, ESSAE's rising star. Josh and I also want to welcome to the quarterback club Tom Cote for exemplary service to ESSAE. We also want to congratulate Mara Ryan on becoming the incoming ESSAE captain and chair. We also need to congratulate this year's first-round draft picks and executive committee members and wish them a successful 2021 season. Let's also congratulate Coach of the Year and ESSAE Executive Director Vanessa LeClaire. And finally, a big thank you to the outgoing MVEC, Most Valuable Executive Committee, for your dedication and work during a trying year is recognized and appreciated. Brian Buff, Mara Ryan, Jeremy Johansson, and Jennifer Van Ort. It was a hard-fought year for the Buffalo Bills and associations across New York State. In 2021, we will stay humble, hungry, and emerge at the end of the pandemic even stronger. As associations are ready to start planning in-person events, Visit Buffalo Niagara, the Buffalo Niagara Convention Center, and the entire Buffalo hospitality community are here and ready to welcome you back to Buffalo.
Thank you, Jennifer. And once again, thank you to Visit Buffalo Niagara. What a brilliant job they just did. As this is my last official act as your chair, I'd like to share a few parting thoughts with you regarding this past year. My mother always was fond of saying, "We are where we are supposed to be." Why that meant being away from all of you this year, I will never know. That was a joke. But getting back to ESSAE, what an exciting year. I wouldn't change this year for anything because this was a year where ESSAE was needed more than most others. Beginning with a worldwide pandemic, moving into the most tension-filled political climate, at least in my lifetime, and experiencing tremendous social reform and the awakening of our country, this year was one for the books. One could have easily thought, ESSAE is a small association. What can it really do to be impactful in light of such huge issues? But for this organization, that was never even a thought. With the combined leadership of your board of directors, your diligent committees, and our executive director, Vanessa Leclerc, your association was there for you on every front. From increased board meetings and finance committee meetings to leaning quite heavily on our committee leaders for programming and support, each and every time our volunteers responded with the highest commitment, and the outcome of their work was absolutely exceptional. This year, every aspect of ESSAE's events and educational offerings were repositioned to offer you the right value at the right time. From experts sharing their experiences on how to speak to the public during a viral outbreak, to learning how to manage and engage your remote staff, to learning how to raise revenue during COVID, while still proactively advocating with JCOPE, talking directly to our state controller, Tom DiNapoli, and even providing diversity and inclusion education as part of ESSAE's ALA's master class. Not a beat was missed. ESSAE also provided personal support to individual members through the complimentary virtual wellness webinar series, the happy hours, emotional resilience expertise, and guiding members on how to remain productive in a virtual world. These things I'm mentioning are just a few of ESSAE's accomplishments. But to me, it's often the smallest things that make the difference between a good organization and a great one. The Triple M event stands out to me as one of those examples. At a time where most associations were publishing notices saying that they would still be holding live events and protecting attendees with social distancing and hand sanitizers, ESSAE sent a simple message to the members asking, "Do you want to attend this event in person?" And the members resoundingly said, "We really want that education, but we don't want to meet in person." And of course, ESSAE's response was, "We're listening." This opened the door to a virtual event opportunity that ESSAE had never taken on before. It was also a great reminder to all of us to make sure that we are listening to our members and we're not assuming that we know what they want. Because ESSAE listened, the Triple M event and most of all of the other events held afterwards were heavily supported by you. And that leads me to my last and most important message. Thank you all for your support of ESSAE, and thank you for continuing your membership during this extraordinary year. It truly has been a joy to serve you. I also want to thank Brian Buff, who provided me with exceptional tools to make my year easy. And Brian also continues to work to preserve ESSAE's history. I encourage you all to go on the ESSAE website to see Brian's work there. To Vanessa Leclerc, thank you so much for your outstanding professional support this past year. And might I say, for these past 5 years. I said 5 years because today is Vanessa's 5-year anniversary. So how about a round of applause for Vanessa's anniversary? Congratulations, Vanessa, and thank you so much. We are so fortunate to be supported by such a smart, passionate, and dedicated person. I will miss our weekly meetings, but I'm also happy that I have one more year to work with you as immediate past chair. And last, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to Maura Ryan on her installation as chair. There is absolutely no doubt that ESSAE will remain in good stead with you at the helm, Maura. Special thank you to our 2020 board members whose terms have expired this year, including Brian Buff, Vice President of the Association Management Operations of Capitol Hill Management Services, Incorporated, Michael Borges, Vice President of the Association Services and Business Development, ADG Communications, Sylvia Daigle, Vice President of Lane Press, and Johnny Evers, PhD, Director of Government Affairs of the Business Council of New York State, Incorporated. In lieu of a formal presentation, all board members whose terms have expired have received their official board plaque by mail. And now, on to the award ceremony. The annual award program helps to promote awareness of initiative, results-oriented programs, services, and initiatives undertaken in the association world. It provides validation for individuals leading those activities, and it allows ESSAE to showcase associations that help advance their profession. I'd like to thank and recognize our awards committee for making today's event possible. They really did a fantastic job. I'd like to begin with Committee Chair Kim Hodge, National Sales Manager of the Sagamore Resort, Jennifer Bruce, CMP, Association Meeting and Management Consultant, CCI Consulting, Jim Calvin, President of the New York Association of Convenience Stores, Amber Carpenter, Managing Director of the New York State, I'll need some help with this, APLS Incorporated, Donna Denley, CAE, Director of Finance, New York State Academy of Family Physicians, Kathy Gormley, Director of Conference Management, Leading Age New York, Leading Age New York, Debbie Gedicke, Convention Services Manager, Albany Film Commissioner of Discover Albany, Mary Jo Janis, Vice President, Convention Sales and Services, Discover Saratoga, Shannon Lizidowich, CEM, Director of Sales, Albany Capitol Center, Linda Persico, CMP, retired, Ashley Ranzo-Lowe, New York State Assistant Director of the NFIB, and Patricia Wood, retired. Thank you again for all of your hard work in making this event possible for us today. There are 5 individual awards and 7 Association Excellence Awards categories. This year we had 22 nominations. So now let's take a moment to hear from our Association Excellence Award recipients.
The New York State Association of Independent Schools was founded in 1948, and the professional learning program didn't begin until 1983 when I was hired as the first associate director for professional development. Our program for professional learning, which began with just a couple of workshops and conferences, has grown over the 38 years or so. Naturally, since March of last year, all of that programming has been shifted so that it's all done online.
That sticks out in my mind as a great moment where we were all sort of coming together and saying, okay, well, what are you guys finding and what are you doing? And we've learned from one another at that time. So that continues, and it's been great to see ESSAE really build out a very solid platform of online learning where it's much newer for this association.
Well, in most recent months, since we switched over to entirely online professional learning, certainly the interest and the enrollment in our programs, which has increased fairly dramatically, has given us some reassurance and some reinforcement that we're meeting the needs of our member schools.
Obviously, New York is a pretty big state, and when we did all of our professional learning in person, we were not able to reach as many of our schools, and now we have almost a 100% participation.
While professional learning is something that a teacher or an administrator would pay for and they'd attend a session, it's also a relationship that's being built. But we provide a platform for people to teach one another.
In addition, we get a lot of feedback both immediately and long-term from the attendees at our events of how positively they feel about what we're offering them and what they've been able to take back to school the next day or take back to the next meeting they're in.
It is a great honor, of course, to be recognized by ESSAE for this award in this way. I think we're very proud of the work that we do in professional learning for our members. And as Marcy mentioned, we get great feedback from our schools and members who work in our schools. But it's lovely, of course, to have validation from the field. You know, ESSAE serves for us in some respects the way we hope that our association serves for our members.
My name is Bea Grouse. I am the president and CEO of the Healthcare Association of New York State. I've been in healthcare my whole career and have been thrilled to be the leader of Haney's for the last 5. You know, this last year obviously has upended all of our lives. I mean, the fact that I'm doing this interview, you know, at my dining room table is just one small example of that. And we worked hand in glove and had to pivot on a dime to respond to the state going into a state of emergency, all the multiple emergency orders, executive orders happening on a daily basis, all the changes in regulations. So it was a constant wheel in motion to try to help our members decipher all of the changes that were happening every day, as well as making sure that they were achieving their primary goal, which was to care for their patients. And I think after the last 9 months, we are completely comfortable with operating virtually and, you know, making sure that, you know, we still drop a lot to email and communicate in writing to our lawmakers. So we have actually made lemonade out of lemons, I would say. I'm extremely proud of my team. They are the best at the federal and state level. We have some of the smartest people, depending on the subject matter, you know, that you could ever hope for. In addition to that, you know, I have always operated, my leadership style is very much a growth one, where I want to support my team and encourage the team around me to be their own leaders and to be leaders in their own domain. Receiving this award is verification of that and validation of that, and I could not be more proud. Being connected to ESSAE is a way to help us have a broader view, quite frankly. As a leader of an organization, it is fatal to work in a vacuum. And being the leader of an association is even in some ways more complex because it's in that political space. You are not just leading an organization, you are leading a constellation of organizations.
So the New York State Association of Realtors is the largest trade association in New York State. We have roughly 60,000 members in every county in the state. The Marketing and Communications Award is really fabulous, and it really means a lot to us because like many industries during the pandemic, there was not a lot coming from the government that wasn't directly health related. There was a void between what the government would allow and what was expected and what our members could do to serve their clients and customers. This award is particularly appreciated, and it's something we're very proud of because the pandemic was something that no one was prepared for. We'd never done it before. We never operated in one before. We did it all virtually like almost everyone else. Receiving the award really made me feel fantastic, and my staff as well, because again, I have to go back and say all of the successes we had this year traces back to every staff member I have, from director level to administrative assistants. They all had a hand in making sure the member experience during the pandemic was handled in a professional and timely way. And obviously we hadn't done this before, although our association is over 100 years old. We were operating during the last pandemic. So the members' feedback all during it was, you know, you're an essential resource that We have families that have to move. We have a closing that has to happen, and we just weren't sure how to do it. And because of that, we got somebody into their home, and we appreciate that. So it was very rewarding to get that feedback, because we are at our essence a member service organization, as all associations are. And if the members respond that way, it's satisfying. It means that we've done our job. So, ESSAE is a great resource for us to learn and to get different perspectives that really help us think outside the box.
I'm Jennifer Martin, the Executive Director of the New York School Nutrition Association, and I'm very proud to receive the Association Excellence Award for Meetings and Expositions on behalf of our organization. We have over 4,500 members, and they are the food service professionals working at school districts all across the state. And like every other association, we had to cancel our conference last year. We took the concept of a traditional trade show and turned it into a video. So we staged the actual trade show where the vendors came and set up their booths. And then we had a couple of trade show attendees that would visit the booth and ask the right questions and talk about the services and products being provided. We increased our attendance by more than 29%. So that's amazing. But we knew this platform would work because we solved the challenges that our members identified right off the bat. And that was going to be travel, money, and time. So to receive an award for such a unique and innovative concept, it felt incredible because we took that risk. But it means so much to me and to the entire organization to be recognized by ESSAE. I think that it's important to use this type of award platform to bring recognition to your industry and to your membership. There was a lot of work, and it did not stop once the videos were released. We're still working on the project now. So our state did what no one had done before, and we actually planned this event for 12 states all at once. And I really want to recognize my team here because there are 3 of us. Yep, 3. And we planned an event for 12 different states all at once. So that in itself is such an accomplishment. So I'm very thankful to ESSAE and the awards committee for giving us this platform to showcase our amazing industry. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. And it doesn't have to be easy. It doesn't have to be something that is already established. And we blazed a new trail.
I'm Heather Brachetti. I'm the president and CEO of the Business Council of New York State. The Business Council is the state chamber of commerce and the state's manufacturing association, and we represent nearly 2,500 companies across the state. We support them in interacting with New York State and the federal government. And our mission really is to create an economic climate for strong jobs, strong communities, and growth. Well, in 2020, obviously, things were sort of humming along and then came to a screeching halt in March. And in particular, businesses were impacted with a myriad of new rules and also closures.
Right from the beginning, we put members first, and we made sure that our members were engaged on everything. If there was a policy change, they knew about it. If there was a law change, they knew about it. And then we elaborated on it further.
So we literally had thousands and thousands of businesses sit in on our webinars. We spilled over onto Facebook.
And it's a testament to our entire staff, knowing when those changes were coming and knowing what our members needed to know to get that information from the website, from the state website, the federal website, and in front of our members. So
I can't tell you how many times we heard from members that they looked at our daily emails as their source of what was going on in Albany and what was going on in Washington. So I mean, I think the biggest piece of advice I would give to someone newly appointed to an association is to make sure that you have great lines of communication with your members. It's an incredible honor for us to receive this award. This past year was a year when I think the importance of associations was really highlighted.
The most satisfying thing, at least to me as the communications director, was hearing from the members when I got those emails back and they were forwarded on to me from other staff saying, great job keeping us informed. We're really leaning on you. That meant a lot because obviously it knew, number one, that I was doing my job, but above all, that we were doing our job. And again, it was a huge collaborative effort because we have just under 50 staff members, and I would say every one of them played a part in our research or our resources last year.
We all had to team together to try and assist business, and to be recognized as an association award is really, really incredible and very meaningful to us because we really value our participation in ESSAE and really learned a lot about how important it is to stay connected with associations.
I'm Campbell Wallace, Director of Government Relations for ACEC New York. ACEC New York, which is the American Council of Engineering Companies of New York, is a coalition of approximately 300 engineering and affiliated firms. We attempt to advocate on behalf of our members who are engineering and design firms to improve the business climate for them all across the state. It's a combination of legislative and regulatory advocacy, as well as providing networking opportunities through meetings and related subjects. Last year, at the beginning of the pandemic, our organization created an ad hoc safety committee. It was very quickly formed. It was almost on an emergency basis. We did this in response to a need for clear, consistent, and accurate advice across the entire industry. We have large firms and we have small firms, and we wanted to ensure that the information our firms had with regard to how to operate safely in this environment was consistent and could be shared. It was truly an honor to receive this award. It was validation of the work we put into it, and it was great to be recognized for something that we thought had a public benefit as well as just advancing our members' interests also. It was very important, frankly, this work, and protecting the public was something that is one of our core tenets. Engineers in general have an obligation to public health, safety, and welfare, and we thought this was an extension of it. And it was really exciting to get the award, actually. It was something that meant a lot to us. And to see that other folks outside of our organization saw this and thought it was worthy of recognition it was very gratifying. And we received very warm and very heartfelt compliments from our board and our executive leadership. So it was very pleasant in that regard. And everyone really pitched in. Everyone volunteered their time and was willing to bring the expertise they had. We had members who represent and work in the vertical environment, members who work in the water and energy environment, and members who work in the horizontal environment. And they were all able to bring their own unique vision for what's important to work safely in those fields. And together it was a very collaborative and very team effort that covered every aspect that we really had to pay attention to. And I think this award is especially satisfying given the recognition of our peers. Associations are critically important at this time. The COVID crisis really helped highlight and helped focus the important work that associations do. You know, with challenge comes opportunity, and I think this was a great time for the association world and their stakeholders and their partners to really show what they can do. And I think a lot of us really shined at this time. So it's very gratifying to be part of this right now.
The New York Library Association represents 7,000 librarians across New York State. We have pretty much all libraries across New York State as a member. And basically what we do is we advocate on their behalf. Our traditional ways of communicating with our members is through our News You Can Use, which is our weekly e-newsletter. And the other part is the NYLA Voice, which is the publication that we are talking about. And the NYLA Voice is issued 6 times a year. It's one of our oldest, most historic publications, specifically that it's only recently that we have it as a whole digital format. One of the main things that we wanted to do, what our members have been craving, is more social media, more ways in which they can be a more vocal advocate. So trying to work more in tandem with each other, and in turn, our members can then know what is actually happening. So when we started the project, we also wanted to make sure that it was member first and foremost. We have seen over 50% of readership as new readers, which is really exciting and something that we haven't seen before. When I received the award, it really made me feel, as someone who's much younger, like I'm 25, so receiving this award personally meant the world to me because I come from that private nonprofit background, the more corporate side of things, and finding a home in the New York Library Association and being able to win this award on this behalf is just a culmination of all the great work the New York Library Association has been doing beyond. In conclusion, I would say to challenge yourself, to not be afraid of your ambitions, and to stick true to your values as a professional.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you once again for tuning in, not only to our first virtual award celebration, but also our first Facebook and YouTube Live program. Thanks to the power of technology, we did not even have to worry about the weather today. No snowstorm could stop us. However, we all know we have a new culprit in town that has been keeping us physically apart. I would like to start by thanking our 2020 key supporters, sponsors, all of our generous in-kind partners, and our volunteers and committee leaders who supported our programs and events throughout the year, rolling with the punches as we pivoted at the start of the pandemic. Your generosity supports the growth, education, and professional development of all ESSAE members. Thank you to Rita Ferris for your commitment to the Society this year as board chair. You started your year on video, not knowing you were already ahead of the curve. It has been a roller coaster ride, and I was lucky to have your support, guidance, and constant positive outlook to help me through a challenging year. Thank you for reminding me to give myself the grace to make mistakes, because we are only human, to try new things, and that in every challenge, there is an opportunity. It has been an immense pleasure working with you. And on behalf of all of us, we have been grateful for your support, service, and dedication to this society. We look forward to a successful year with Maura Ryan as board chair, advancing the Society's mission, continuing to engage our members, committees, volunteers, and association leadership. Thank you to the board of directors, committee leaders, and volunteers for your hard work, loyalty, and dedication throughout 2020, especially when you were facing your own challenges. So what did 2020 bring to the table? 1,000 Zoom meetings and the overuse of statements like, "We've had to pivot during these challenging times. Hope you are well and staying safe." And of course, a fan favorite, "You're on mute." Maybe we learned a new skill, a new hobby, built something, or spent time remodeling. Some of us adopted a new pet or fostered an animal in need. Or maybe your rabbit had 8 babies. Or maybe that was just me. We started wearing masks, and toilet paper and hand sanitizer became the hottest commodity since sliced bread. The new business casual included more leggings and less makeup, and we bought more ring lights, green screens, and external cameras. We may have had fewer vacations, but we also had shorter commutes to the office. We worried about budgets, partnerships, membership renewals, and the health of our organizations and staff. Difficult decisions were made to reduce the financial strain, jobs were lost, events were canceled. We saw less of our friends, family, and colleagues, but reconnected with loved ones and business partners in ways that surprised us. People reached out, turned on their video cameras, and made time to find out how we were doing. Business will never go back to what we once knew as normal, not even a new normal. We are creating new paths, new ways to connect, and new ways to learn, engage, and meet. In 2020, ESSAE met the challenges head-on and turned all of those lemons into lemonade, which includes, but of course not limited to, creating a COVID page with helpful resources, nearly doubling the number of updates and e-news blasts to keep members up to date. We worked with ASAE and backed congressional letters of support for 501c6s to benefit from the Paycheck Protection Plan. Our regular in-person education schedule changed to support a virtual environment, and we included new ways to learn and connect. Like so many, our annual conference and trade show was canceled in 2020. However, we took the education and featured it virtually, showcasing our first two-day spring summit. Side note, for those who are wondering, we are now planning the 2021 show to take place in September. And what that looks like, well, that will be guided by your insight. More to come on that. We held virtual happy hours, both themed and casual online gatherings to fill our social souls, laugh, share ideas, and of course, raise a glass. We created Webinar Wednesdays and Timeout Tuesdays, a series of educational webinars on business strategy that help members navigate the crisis and provide a toolkit for managing mental health. We featured a comedian, bourbon mixology segment, and of course, a tasty cheese board. The final ALA Level 1 session was held virtually. Its graduation was turned into a happy hour, and the entire ALA Master's class this year is being held via Zoom. We even tried our hand at a hybrid event at the Albany Capitol Center, a program highlighting the impact COVID has had on association and meeting industry careers. We launched our first gratitude challenge because throughout this difficult time, we had much to be grateful for and wanted to share messages of hope and positivity. Thank you to everyone who submitted a video. Did you know you can still watch those videos on LinkedIn or Facebook? Just search the hashtag ESSAE Gratitude Challenge. We have partnered with a third party, Gabby Fisher of CoMeds, to support ESSAE's social media presence, and our views, engagement, reach have all increased. Our committees met often to address programming, advocacy, and marketing-related concerns. So special thank you to all of our committees for their hard work in support of the society. So speaking of the committee work, it's that time of year. We are looking for members to volunteer their time and energy to serve on one of our committees, as they play an important role in the development and advancement of ESSAE. Whether you choose to get involved to gain leadership experience, build your resume, increase your exposure, or give back to the profession, we want you to find a meaningful way to engage within the ESSAE community. 2020 brought associations to the forefront and truly showcased the power of A while zooming our little hearts out. The pandemic, while its impact has significantly hurt business, has put associations in the spotlight, providing us with the means to showcase the great work this industry does and can do in times of trouble. COVID has pushed associations out of their comfort zones and moved the industry forward faster than we would normally go. Our programs, initiatives, and advocacy efforts have changed and evolved to meet the challenge. Recovery, of course, will take time, and now is the time to support each other. We must work toward a brighter future together. ESSAE will continue to be the place for you to meet and network with colleagues from around New York State. And while there continue to be challenges we must all face, health, safety, and overall well-being, we are confident that our members and vendor partners will successfully confront these challenges and remain connected through ESSAE. In closing, I want to leave you with these final thoughts. The crisis has not only challenged the way we do business, but it has challenged us personally and mentally. I read an Instagram post not long ago that struck a personal chord for me: the imaginary standards and expectations that we set for ourselves, keeping score and the idea of what we're supposed to be or do during this time. In this remote work-life world, we need to remember that no one is, nor should be, keeping score of our lives. We are persevering through all manner of challenges. We need to acknowledge that we have been and continue to manage a ridiculous amount of responsibility, caring for and schooling our children, organizing and cleaning our homes, working full-time, part-time, or even freelance jobs, and at the end of the day, carving out quality time on our weekends and evenings. We all fall short sometimes, but do not forget that we exceed expectations too. We tend to discount our own victories because we believe we're supposed to be more or do more. It's okay to have goals and push yourself, but success should not come at the expense of your mental health in the service of impossible benchmarks. And it shouldn't mean ignoring or denying the things you do accomplish each and every day. So do your best and cut yourself some slack. While my 2021 to-do list tends to get rather lengthy these days, as I am sure you can all understand, our 2021 to-do list should also include the following: rest, acknowledge how far you've come, resolve to give yourself the time you need, pay it forward how you can, and celebrate the tiny wins. Thank you. And now, please welcome Brian Buff to this virtual stage for the 2021 Board Slate presentation.
Good morning, ESSAE members, supporters, and colleagues. It is my pleasure to present to you the report of the Nominating and Leadership Development Committee for 2021. Before I do that, though, I do want to just let you know that the committee worked very hard this year looking at all possible impact that the pandemic might have on the spirit of volunteerism. We've checked out different avenues to pursue should we get folks because of flux in the marketplace and with employment. We just didn't know where things were, so we wanted to have all of our bases covered. I'm very proud today, though, to say that the spirit of volunteerism is alive and well within our society through self-nomination, nominated by others, and with some recruitment, with people that were identified as possible leaders. The Nominating Leadership Development Committee had its work cut out for it, and we reviewed many different applications for office. And we believe the slate we're presenting today is going to help lead ESSAE into a bright future. I'd like to take a moment to thank the nominating committee and its members, Kathy Fabreo, CAE, President and CEO of the New York State Association of Healthcare Providers, Rebecca Flack, Executive Director of the Hope Full Life Center Incorporated, Mary Jo Janis, Vice President, Convention Sales and Services, Discover Saratoga, and Kim Keenan, Sales Operation Manager at Turning Stone Resort and Casino. And now with the slate. The committee unanimously recommends the following directors for re-election to the 2021 Board of Directors. Georgianne Bailey, CAE, Executive Director, AIA, New York State. Jill Delaney, President, Discover Albany. Lindsay Miller, MPH, Executive Director of the New York Association on Independent Living. Gina Potfora, CMP, Vice President of Member Services, ACEC New York. And Ashley Ranslow, New York Assistant State Director, National Federation of Independent Businesses. The committee unanimously recommends the following new candidates to the slate of directors for 2021. Tim Atkinson, Executive Director, New York State Veterinary Medical Society, and I'll editorialize, and one of our nation's newest citizens. Congratulations, Tim. Megan Bowker, CAE, Section Head and Senior Association Manager, Capitol Hill Management Services. Adam Jacobson, Director of Sales, Villa Roma Resort and Conference Center. Chris Neuber, President, Eastern New York Coalition of Automotive Retailers. And Janine Santelli, PhD, RN, Executive Director of the American Nurses Association, New York. The Board of Directors elects the following as its executive team and leadership team for 2021. As our chair, Maura Ryan, Executive Director, New York State Government Finance Officers Association. Vice Chair, Jeremy Johannesson, CAE, Executive Director, the New York Library Association. Secretary, George Swain, MED, CAE, Director of Evaluation and Professional Learning, the New York State Association of Independent Schools. Our treasurer in her second year of her term, Jennifer Van Ort, MBA, Executive Director of the New York State Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. And our immediate past chair, Rita Ferris, President, Northeastern Retail Lumber Association. Now, recognizing that we're doing this meeting virtually, we do ask you to be a little patient as we do the calls so that we can monitor the YouTube and Facebook channels just to see what comments come in, and so that we do everything by the book and by the bylaws, as they say. So let's get started. The ESSAE members named here today have been placed on the ballot to serve on our 2021 Board of Directors. Are there any nominations from the virtual floor? Any nominations? Any nominations? We'll take a moment to see if there are any. Okay, not seeing any nominations from the floor. We recognize and ask for a motion to approve the slate as presented this morning. All righty. Okay. We have a motion to accept the slate as presented from Shannon Lasidziewicz and a second from Addie Waldy and a number of others. So we thank you for that. So please, using your chat box from your viewing location, please indicate if you are in favor of the slate. And if you are opposed, you may do so at this time as well. We'll give it a few more minutes as we see the votes coming in. All right, we'll give it a minute more. Oh, this is wonderful. Wonderful interactions. Thank you, everyone. All right, seeing no opposition from the membership from the virtual floor and seeing the acclamation by the comments being submitted, the motion passes, the slate is accepted, and we congratulate our slate and new leaders for 2021. The society is in very, very good hands. And with that, I'm going to now swear in the new board members. You can see they already have their right hands raised. Do you solemnly swear to faithfully and impartially to perform the duties of your office and to the best of your ability preserve and protect the bylaws of the Empire State Society of Association Executives?
I do.
Congratulations and well done. We're in good hands for 2021. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing me the honor to serve as ESSAE's chair of the governing board. The chairs who have served before me have been amazing stewards of ESSAE, and it has been a great pleasure to work with several of these chairs, most recently, Rita Ferris. Rita had the unenviable task of navigating the association through the beginning and middle of an unprecedented event in ESSAE's history. Rita led with the necessary calm and confident leadership required, ever more so during a crisis. Thank you, Rita, for steering us through 2020 with determination and grace. Thank you to the outgoing board members, Michael Borges, Brian Buck, Sylvia Daigle, and Johnny Evers. A special thank you to Brian for his extraordinary efforts and leadership during his tenure as chair preceding Rita. His knowledge and experience are extensive. His passion for this organization and this industry is palpable. It has been a pleasure serving with all of you. Welcome newly elected board members. Tim Atkinson, Megan Bowker, Adam Jacobson, Chris Newber, and Janine Santelli. Thank you for accepting the call to serve. I look forward to your contributions, your energy, and what we can do together for ESSAE. And of course, I'm looking forward to continuing to work with the re-elected board members who have done so much already. I've been a member of ESSAE for a very long time. It took many years to become a volunteer, but it's the best thing that I've done. The programming, the services, the resources, all of which are plentiful, and the reassurance that support is just a call or email away, are the initial benefits one gains from joining a professional association. The connections made and support from our newfound friends and peers, volunteering at events or on committees, posting that first question or reply in the community forum, stepping up to board service. These activities are what truly enhance the value of membership. We know this. We promote this within our respective associations and businesses. We should remember this for ourselves, for our own professional development. We are in the business of supporting others. Let us remember to support ourselves and each other, and by extension, the association that we rely on. If you are not already volunteering, I encourage you to step out of your comfort zone to dedicate just a little bit of your time. The first step is the hardest, but the rewards will follow. We are all busy in this industry, but volunteering for ESSAE is not a time-consuming event nor a burden. This is your association. Make the most of it. So what's next for ESSAE in 2021? Well, we're in uncharted waters, waiting anxiously to get to shore, to in-person events, to seeing each other, to what is familiar. ESSAE, like you, is planning for that day. Thankfully, it feels like we're moving toward shore now, but we are going to stay focused on what ESSAE currently does because these times are challenging and it's hard to start new programming and services. Not that we can, but we're going to stay focused, but we will use what we have learned during this past year to enhance what ESSAE does now. And we also want to hear from you. So hopefully you have renewed your membership for 2021 or will be soon and completed the membership survey. What you share with us helps determine ESSAE's future. We will also do what we can to support our hospitality and business partners. To all of our vendors who have been impacted so severely, we can't wait to utilize your services or to walk through your doors again. So many of ESSAE's hospitality and business partners provided tremendous financial and other support throughout 2020 and are continuing to do so this year. If you are in the market, please look at the website, ESSAE's website, call Vanessa, use an online membership directory. Think of ESSAE's partners first and support those companies who support your professional association. In the meantime, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, Vanessa, or any of the other board or committee members if you wish to talk about how you can engage more, if you need assistance or you have an idea. Thank you for participating today, and thank you for the opportunity to serve you. And now, I'd like to turn your attention over to the presentation of the individual awards. These awards demonstrate outstanding achievement by ESSAE members within their own associations, for the professions that they serve, for ESSAE, and the broader community. Their successes will inspire you. Think of them throughout the year. Think of all you do or someone you know within ESSAE, all that they do. Submit a nomination next year when the call comes and help recognize the great work of association professionals. Congratulations to this year's recipients.
Good morning. I'm Jay Cloutier with Discover Albany, and on behalf of Jill Delaney, our president, and the thousands of hospitality partners we work with on a daily basis, we're proud to be sponsors today of the annual awards celebration for the Empire State Society of Association Executives. Please join me in raising a glass to the association excellence we're here to celebrate today.
I'm Addie Waldy. I'm the Director of Development and Marketing for Trinity Alliance of the Capital Region. We build neighborhoods. We invest in our neighbors, empower them for change. So we're based as a human services organization and started out at a settlement house in 1912. I was speechless. I had no idea, and it was really shocking, but it's honored. I'm honored to be recognized. Amazing. I had no idea that I had been nominated. I've been volunteering my entire life. I mean, it's a culture that's in my family. It's been for generations. My grandmother was actually a founding member of the Association for Dental Hygienists. So I could say that associations and meeting and membership organizations is in my DNA. I mean, that's just what we do. That's how we were raised. So I guess I would just really have people just raise your hand and say, I want to help out. This is what I love to do. Do you have a place for me? I really think that, you know, the success that I have in my career, a lot of the skills that I have and have been able to use and have been hired for in my leadership roles, I got and acquired through my leadership positions in associations. And that's why it's so valuable for individuals to step up and volunteer and take those leadership roles. You build relationships and you gain education, but you also learn such valuable skills in leadership and interacting with individuals. But I don't consider it work. I love it. And I get so much from ESSAE, and the members of ESSAE get back. So they support me as much as I support them.
So I'm Amanda Wing. I am the Deputy Executive Director for ASBO New York. ASBO stands for Association of School Business Officials. Our members are made up of the finance people in school districts. So they work very closely with superintendents and school board members. This year, you know, because of the pandemic, of course, like everyone else, has created challenges. I'm also a new mom. I know, you know, associations and also our partners on the event and supplier side, we've all sort of experienced this collective, you know, lack of in-person events, and that's a huge part as associations of how we get our continuing education out to members, our, you know, our in-person events. So from that perspective, of course, there's been a lot of creativity that has been required on the part of myself and our staff to still continue to deliver. Ended up stepping into the role of interim executive director. So new mom, interim executive director. So there's certainly been a lot that happened during 2020. It's really humbling to be recognized by your peers. It's a great honor. And I, you know, I'm just really humbled. Especially, I think it was especially humbling when I saw the folks who had written letters on my behalf as part of the nomination process. You know, the thing that I really had an opportunity to do was to put my ideas about leadership to use and to really implement them. I feel really strongly about leading with compassion, and, you know, keep bearing in mind that everyone's experiences are different. And right now we're all going through such a difficult, challenging time that if I'm able as a leader to have compassion for my staff, I think it can only bring us together. And I'm so proud of our staff. My team's amazing. So having an opportunity to lead them during a challenging time is honestly probably, I will always look at this time and feel like it was probably one of the most rewarding times in my career.
I'm proud to represent ACEC New York. We represent nearly 300 engineering and related companies throughout New York State. Engineering companies that design the water that you drink, the roads that you drive on, the airports that you use, the transit systems you use. So it's really a good feeling to know that everything that our members do make the world a better place every day. It was when I started with ACEC New York in 1992, I didn't know anything about associations. I didn't really know that they existed in the manner that they do today. And so I learned about education for association executives. I went through the CAE training program, through a variety of working groups and study groups. And I learned a lot about organizational structure. I learned about organizational management. I learned about the politics of associations. And that was the foundation for everything that I did as an association executive. Okay, when I learned that I had won this award, it was a combination of shock and amazement. And it was really an honor to be nominated and then selected to win an award by your peers. Association management is a very broad group of people. And to be selected by those folks and then to say that you are the Distinguished Member of the Year was just a really great feeling. One of the things that we used to do here a little bit, especially pre-pandemic, was what I referred to as reverse mentoring, which is, even though I'm the exec, I can learn from everybody on the staff. And I think it's important to recognize that there are people that know different things, and they bring a wealth of information. Understanding your association and working with the volunteers, letting them make certain decisions and lead the effort, but also learning from their efforts as you go along is just really helpful in being a good leader. I know that not everything that I've done has been perfect, though I have certainly tried to lead by example and do those things. And just hope that you remember that everything that I've done, that I've tried to do, has always been with the best of intent. That I respect all of the people that I've worked with and really recognize and understand the different contributions that they've made. Years ago, and it drives the staff crazy at times, I told them that their most important job was to make me look good. And it was only said half in jest, but they have worked their butts off to make me look good. And really this award is really just a testament to their hard work and to their commitment to ACEC New York.
Hello, everyone. I trust you're all doing your best to thrive rather than just survive during these tumultuous times. I also trust that perhaps today you're wearing pants. Am I wearing pants? Who knows? Recently, just started a new company as president and founder of Next Gen Management Consultants, but most of you know me as a vice president at Capitol Hill Management Services. First, I want to say thank you to the awards committee for honoring me with the George Burton Award. And I really want to thank my peers who really bestow the honor upon you. To be honored is truly the best honor that you could ever imagine. Additionally, I'd like to congratulate the Association Excellence Awards winners, as well as Jay, Amanda, and Addie on their individual awards. You're all rock stars, and I'm honored to call you colleagues at ESSAE. Fun fact, Jay Simpson plucked me out of obscurity from the New York State Assembly about 15 years ago and hired me into my first association job. Funny how things come full circle. During a time where many of us do not leave our house, this award has certainly provided some additional connectivity and community that I so desperately needed. It has been and will continue to be my great honor and privilege that I stumbled upon association management. ESSAE and ASAE have been a welcoming, warm, and friendly environment that understand the need for community, diversity, and a difference of perspective that progresses organizations forward. Since my first days as an ESSAE member, I have felt valuable, part of something greater than myself, and I've really been devoting my time to ESSAE's mission, which is only a small payback to what ESSAE has done for me professionally and personally. Many of you who started out as colleagues are now friends. As we know from engaging with our members, recognition within our industry highlights not only the success we strive to achieve for our members, but also that creativity and innovation as a community we can all share. Always recognize when your peers are winning, whether they are small wins or big victories. Send an email or nominate them for an award. You'll be glad you did, and it may just come back around one day. I've always appreciated the role associations play in society, and I never forget that improving upon our work only makes the world a better place. My dedication to association management will always be one of my core goals as I build upon my career. Before I go, I want to thank those who have made it possible for me to receive this honor. First, thank you to Vanessa LeClaire and my ESSAE board colleagues and friends, especially Jen Martin for nominating me for this award. Thank you to my friends and colleagues at Capitol Hill Management Services, and thank you to the thousands of members I've served in staff and executive roles and as a strategic planning facilitator and consultant. Thank you to ASAE, DELP, especially my Sweet 16 family, my YPAC community, and my many association friends far and wide. Finally, thank you to my amazing husband, Will, who didn't realize he was actually marrying association management about a decade ago when he married me, and has been forced to accept ESSAE as part of our lives, and he deeply supports my commitment to volunteerism. And finally, thank you to my son Arlo, who inspires me every day, and he reinforces the work that we do is creating a better world for him to grow up in. I'm sorry we couldn't all celebrate in person, and I hope that we can make up for lost time when it is safer again. I promise that this is just a new beginning for all of us. Let's cheers to the future, because it can only be bright. Be well, friends. Thank you again.
Congratulations to all of this year's awardees, and best wishes to the 2021 leadership team. Patrick and Josh had to excuse themselves and asked me to go ahead and wrap things up. Know that the Buffalo hospitality community is here for you as you begin to plan future programs. Until then, remember to dream.
In a time when we're staying safe by staying home, we all deserve a daydream, a diversion from the distance between us. Buffalo invites you to dream a little dream about the joys of travel, the moments of wonder and delight we share when we explore great architecture, savor delicious food, enjoy natural beauty, and discover new places. So stay safe and be well, and remember to dream.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. We hope that you enjoyed your time with us this morning. I just want to leave you with a final thought to please mark your calendars for our next program, the Meetings, Membership, and Marketing Institute, which will be held virtually starting on March 24th. We are currently seeking presenter proposals for this program, so stay tuned for more information. Be sure to check our website for details, follow us on all our social media channels, and of course, reach out to ESSAE if there's anything we can do to support you and your organization. We look forward to the time when we can all be together once again in person. Until then, be well and stay safe. Meeting adjourned.